environment, I'm not really worried about that. But it's still going to be a big tour. That's a lot of testosterone on one stage. It's 9 guys. So I definitely want to be focused before I do that, and before I get married next year. I want to be focused. I want to have that stability and have that, My fiance has seen me sober, but she doesn't really truly know me sober for a lengthy period of time, which is it's unfortunate, but she's going to see that because on weeks at a time when I stay sober for a month here or 2 weeks here, she gets to kind of experience that, and she loves me that way. She loves me anyways, but it just helps. And Mom can tell the difference when I talk to her on the phone. She can tell if I'm doing good or if I'm doing bad. I don't have to call her drunk. She can just know if I've had a bad couple days or not.
And the family stuff is a lot more important than the tour stuff, because when the tour's over, when the music stops, when you're no longer touring, when you're not out there promoting and you're sitting there at home, your wife is going to be the one that's going to be sitting there with you. Yep. And you don't want to screw that up. You got to be good for yourself.
Yeah. And I don't want to be the Los Angeles statistic of marriages that don't last amongst celebrities and all this stuff. I don't believe in that. This is it for me. I want to get married, done. Have kids, done. One woman, that's it. I don't want my 3rd or 4th marriage deal, none of that.
All right, so we're not calling her your first wife.
No, she is my wife. Right. That is it.
All right. Well, what's her name again?
Rochelle.
All right. And what you have another question?
Oh no, somebody from Argentina, Ali Vega.
Okay.
Says, is Rochelle going on the South American tour? Please, we want her to.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we want her to come.
Yeah. Yes. London says, send you a kiss from fans in Monterrey, Mexico.
Gracias. Thank you. And Rochelle is not. She's unfortunately not going to be on the South American leg.
She works, doesn't she? I mean,
she's doing that as well as school, and school takes up 6 days a week. So, unfortunately, she can't afford to miss any. She's already missed a ton of school to come on the road with me and come back for the holidays last year and all this kind of stuff. So, she needs to have her life too. So, Plus, she's seen the show 1,000 times. You
mean she's sick of it?
No, she's not. But she's already told me she's like, I love you. I've seen your show, but I have to be there for the very first NKOTBSP show.
Right.
I'm like, fine. Yeah.
Mom, how's it feel to hear him say that he wants to get back into treatment?
Well, yeah, I support him in the whole sobriety thing. I mean, I always have. He knows that. I've told him a gazillion times, I support you in sobriety. I'm not going to support you on the other side of it. I'm not going to shun you and disown you, but by the same token, I am not going to enable you.
Right.
And we had a little discussion when he came here, and I said, I know, he knows I know that he's, currently drinking. So I said to him, I says, if we're gonna have the same kind of usual, funky stuff going on, then go stay with your friends.
Yeah,
don't stay at our house because I don't want that. I'm not gonna put, I'm not gonna put myself through that. I'm not gonna put my, his father through that.
Right.
So we had that talk, and I said, you're gonna spend time with us. You spend time with us. We only see him. Really, unless we go out and spend time with him on tour,
that's right.
We only see him. This is the time of year where we only have with him, really, because we live so far apart. So it's difficult, So we try to spend as much time, and we've had some other family issues going on this time around. So.
But how am I doing so far?
Yeah.
This time around, I'm doing.
You're doing better.
Yeah, see.
It's not 100%. No, you're doing better.
Well, if we were in my office, I'd have some follow-up questions to that one about the look of her face.
but I've only been home for 4 days or 5 days, so I've got almost 2 more weeks to redeem myself. So I don't think you have to. No, I mean, she's right. It's when I would come here before when I was drinking, like heavily, I would, I'd see her and Dad maybe like an hour out of the day because I'd sleep till 5 o'clock, get up, have a bite to eat, and then I'd be out the door, and I'd roll back in at 5 in the morning and sleep again till 5 o'clock. This time around, that's not happening.
It's only 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
but that's why I was impressed. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. That's why I was impressed with you coming on here, because when she said, "Hey, he's coming on the show," I'm thinking, but wait, he knows what I do. He knows what I talk about. He knows what the show is about. And that's one thing that I want everyone to really understand. Honesty is what keeps us sober. I want that to be really clear. If you say what is the one major issue that is required in long-term sobriety, it's complete, brutal honesty.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing your family has, you, Denise, and you guys are brutally, you're willing to put it out there and say, this is what's happening. You're not hiding behind some veil or some secret or you're saying, when you're drinking, everyone knows.
Yeah,
I'm drinking.
That's the thing. It's like I'm not going to go out and try to hide it. I'm not going to huddle up in a corner and do a shot and have a beer and oh my God,
that feels worse.
Is this gonna end up on Twitter, or is this gonna do whatever? I would much rather just be out about it and just be like,
exactly.
Here's my beer, here's my whatever. I'm right there in front of you.
Let's do this, and then we'll discuss it later.
Because you're right. Honesty is the key,
and that's what's going to save you later. Yeah. That same honesty that you're using right now is what's going to save you. But one more question, Chris, before break, and then we'll take a break.
Krista Carl Johnson sent in this question. Why, Alex, do you feel like you have to drink? I don't drink, so I'm curious why you feel the need to drink.
That's a very good question. I wish I had an answer for you. But I will be honest with you and tell you, I don't know. I think for me, it's one of those things where it relaxes me, or at least in my mind, in my alcoholic addict mind, it tells me that it's actually relaxing me from a long day, or it's a social thing. Drinking has always been a social activity, but socially accepted activity. But I don't know, because I can easily go out with my friends and have a Diet Coke and have just as much fun, if not more. So I know I don't need it, and I know when I do have it, it's great for that temporary moment where it takes the edge off. But then what? Then you run the risk of driving home drunk and all these things.
Can I say one thing about that too? I've noticed something, and I've been really trying to. Maybe it's because of all this, work I'm doing, life coaching and the hypnotherapy and all that. But I'm learning to read people differently than I used to. And I said this to my husband the other night, to your dad the other night. I said, what I think is happening here is that you've been in show business so long that you've almost forgot how to be your true self.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the things to focus on when you do go into treatment is, I want to get back to being Alex again. The old Alex that I was when I was 10, 12, 15, 17 years old. Normal, right. And I want to get back to that point, knowing that it's okay to be that person in front of everybody.
Right.
Because the one thing, that I have not seen in quite a long time is the real you.
Yeah, neither have I.
And because I can tell because of conversations.
Right.
Okay? And we converse a lot more when you're yourself.
Right.
So as soon as you get that back to that point, and I know that it's not good when you're drinking, and that's when you feel comfortable talking to me.
Right.
Okay? Because that's not a good thing.
No, and then I'll forget the conversation that we had because I drank or whatever, and then it's there's more negative that comes from that than obviously positive.
Right.
But
that's
you are dead on, because I haven't had a normal life, so to speak, since I was a kid. Yeah. And especially now with the group. I mean, I've been a Backstreet Boy for more than half my life. 18 years.
Image has been everything for a very long time.
18 years.
All right, we'll be back talking with A.J. McLean from the Backstreet Boys, or better known as Alex then.
Yep.
How about that, Denise? Better known as Alex. Right here on the Couch Live and Rock100DIZ.com.
I was like, I want to have
Doctor, my eyes have seen the you. Do you feel that you have tried everything and nothing works? Are you tired of going from counselor to counselor and never feeling that it made any difference? Is your loved one still using drugs and alcohol? Are you feeling frustrated, angry, and afraid that the hope is fading? Are you getting close to giving up? Is there anything you can do? The answer is yes. You can and will make a difference. Call Quest Counseling Center today at 407-331-7199. You may not be able to stop your loved one from using drugs or alcohol or convince them that they need to quit, but you can guide and support them in their recovery. At Quest Counseling Center, they plant the seeds for better awareness and understanding as they encourage improved thinking and motivation for action. Quest is staffed with very qualified counselors that will plant the seeds to recovery in your family. Call 407-331-7199 to set up your appointment today. That's Quest Counseling Center at 407-331-7199. 407-331-7199.
Do you ever feel stuck in your life? Maybe you need some motivation or help with a relationship or change of career. Starbeam Coaching is here to help you become the person you are meant to be. I'm Denise Solis, certified life coach, clinical hypnotherapist, and co-host of The Couch Live on Rock 100 DIZ. I've been blessed in my life to be able to reach many personal goals, and I want to help you do the same. Need help sleeping or want to quit smoking? These are just a few of the many issues that can be addressed through one-on-one guided and self-hypnosis therapy. I would love to work with you if you live in the Central Florida area. Life coaching has no boundaries. I speak to clients around the world weekly via Skype or telephone. Bring in the new year with a new you and a more confident outlook on life. Visit starbeamcoaching.com today or give me a call at 407-578-4458 to find out more. And remember, the first session is always free.
Hey folks, this is the Captain, and I know some of you old party animals are now in your late 30s, 40s, even 50s, and when was the last time you had a physical? I thought so. Well, you need to go see my personal doc, Dr. Kent S. Hoffman. Dr. Hoffman is a family physician and he's board certified. Doc is conveniently located at 20